Hello, this is a very quick look at the Tayun G10 Android 5.1 TV box. This has an octa-core 64-bit processor installed, and it is quite a nice tidy little unit. There's no external Wi-Fi antenna, nothing around the side. Around the back you've got your HD out, your optical out, AV out, and a Ethernet port if you want to wire this in rather than use wireless. There's a really good selection of USB ports, 4 on this, that's very generous, as well as a memory card slot, and you can see it's actually quite a nice little unit, could quite easily sit under your TV. Comes with the power brick, and it's got a decent length wire on that. Also has a USB cable, and that's used to charge the included remote. It's got a HDMI cable, which is nicely included as well, so you'd have to buy one. And the remote is really cool, actually. I've not seen one like this bundled. So it's got simple controls on the top, flip it over, and you've got a full keyboard on the back. And it's actually an air mouse as well, so you don't have to use arrow keys. You just wave it around in the air, and there's the USB charging point on the bottom. At the time of review, this is running Android 5.1.1, and it comes with a choice of launchers. So there's 3 launchers pre-installed. You can select from any of them. One of them is just a very basic, it's got a picture, you've got a gallery, a button, things like that. I wasn't too keen on this one. I found it a little bit too basic. It's not quite TV friendly, it's not quite like standard Android. The second one you can choose is an actual Android type skin, so this is more like that you'd get on a tablet, so it just loads up. You've got different screens that you can swipe through, and you've got the app tray, and you can see it's running pretty smoothly across both menu systems here. And finally, the third one is the one that I actually prefer, and this is the Media Box launcher. You can set that to always if you want to have this used all the time, and that has big buttons, and it's a bit better suited for TV use. You just saw the cursor moving around the screen. That's me using the air mouse, or you can just select left, right, up and down instead. Each of the menu items can have something added to it, so if you want to add, for example, let's find Kodi and just add that, and that just makes it a bit quicker, because if you've got a lot of apps installed, it can be pretty tricky to find them on these kind of boxes. There is, of course, the My Apps tray, and that will contain everything that you've installed on the device. Interestingly, this comes with Kodi OS pre-installed. I'm not quite sure what version of Kodi this is based on, but basically this gives you access to the apps within Kodi itself. It does also come preloaded with a load of streaming services. I found most of these didn't work though, so if you're going to buy one of these boxes, you're going to still have to do a load of work on it anyway if you want to use those kind of services. But the nice thing about this is that you can access Android services straight from Kodi. So here I've just loaded up Netflix. Netflix works really well, very smooth. When you're scrolling around the various options, loads them up very quickly, and playback was absolutely fine. So I'm working my way through the excellent Daredevil Season 2 at the moment, and that looks absolutely fine on this. Unfortunately, this box doesn't work so well with other services. So this is the Play service. I've got Hitman, Hit Play, and playback isn't supported on this device. I also had problems with the YouTube app. The quality was very hit and miss. So these are my own videos that I've got loaded up here now. And if you were to watch this review video on YouTube on this box, it would play back rather choppy. So if I just load this up for you, you can see it loads fine, but then playback is very choppy. It's not good at all. I don't know what's going on. And this wasn't limited to just my videos. I'm showing you my videos here, but I'll show you in a second. Some YouTube videos seem to be fine, so I don't know if it was some kind of weird codec problem. No idea. So that video was fine, but again, this is a different vlogger now. Again, her videos, very choppy. So very disappointing. If you want to use this as a media streamer, it's not always going to work. There's various other apps installed, and I found that some of those didn't work either. Network error, even though we've just been streaming. However, the Film on TV app did work fine. That streamed no problem. So a very hit and miss box for media playback, and it could well be that your service isn't going to be supported. Web browsing was absolutely fine, and the little remote comes into its own here because, of course, it means you can type in web addresses, fill out forms, whatever you need to do. And gameplay was also excellent. So using the USB ports, I've actually plugged in a GameSir control pad, and that turns this into a mini console, and you'll see just how smooth everything runs. So you can see everything's really nice and slick here. Plane flying over, no problem. We'll just get that car out of the way and hit the turbo in a second. I'll ram a couple of cars, it'll go into slow-mo. Really nice and slick. This is probably one of the best I've seen this game running, and this is Asphalt 8. It looks really good on the large screen. Definitely recommend you download it and give it a go. If you do get one of these Android boxes, it's really good fun. But I would recommend getting a game controller rather than trying to use the little remote with this, because once you've got a game controller, that turns this into a mini games console. So a bit of a mixed bag for this. It works really well on things like games and Netflix and Kodi, but then within Kodi a lot of the pre-installed apps don't work properly, and as I've shown you, YouTube has a few problems, other apps have a few problems. So a bit of a mixed bag. Depending on what you want to use this for, this will either be brilliant or very frustrating. I hope you found this short review useful. Thanks for watching.